Hello audiophiles, Fluffy Platinum in the house. Welcome to another Fluffy Platinum's Tea. Today I wanted to cover an issue that I have been facing for a while. Before I start though, I wanted to quickly cover the usual routine, informing you all that if you have any questions you'd like me to answer, post them in the comments down below and I will answer them in the next Fluffy Platinum's Tea. Though it's pretty rare for people to do that, so I might discontinue that routine. Also, I'd like to announce that I have opened a drawing competition for my album Syncopation. The winners will not only have their artwork shown on CDs and streaming services, but they will also receive a merch package on the house. There are also prizes for runner-ups and honorable mentions, and all entrants receive a 30% discount on my coffee store, and will also have their work showcased online and at the album launch should that go ahead. Okay, on to the subject. As you all may or may not know, I officially left the IDOL community and ended my affiliation with the Perth IDOL network at the start of 2025. If you want to know a bit more about that, I have done a video on that and I will link it in the corner if you want to watch it. It is not necessary to watch it as I'll only be briefly covering idols in this video. Anyways, upon my departure, I entered the local music scene and decided to continue all my previous operations as normal, just without the IDOL label. And since it's been a while since I did that, I'm sure you all are wondering, how's it going? And the answer is, it's going awful. Okay, with some of the things I've done this year, that is a bit of an over-exaggeration, but things certainly aren't going the way I hoped they would. While the local music scene is more broad and is much more respectful than the IDOL community, they didn't exactly roll out the welcome wagon either. And the reason is, ableism is alive and well in the music industry. At least, it feels like it. And while I may write songs like Touch of the Autism and Crazy Music, the inspirations for those songs came from negative experiences, and being autistic comes with its struggles. That's something I won't ever deny. I have been facing ableism and other forms of discrimination since before I left the IDOL community and even before I started music. Anyone who follows the series would know that I covered my issues with a former music distributor, Ditto Music, and again, that video is up and you can watch it if you want to know more. But, to quickly sum up the issues relevant to this video, they had marked my song Touch of the Autism as explicit when it didn't meet the criteria to be marked as so, and I believe that decision of theirs was rooted in ableism. I also faced ableism when I was studying my certificate in TAFE from, believe it or not, one of my lecturers. He never took me or my concerns seriously, and he constantly gave responses that were either condescending, rude, or a mix of the two, and he deliberately withheld important information from me so I didn't pass. And Josh Dyson, if you are watching this video, you're a bully. I'm surprised you're able to play in bands and teach at a college. And the only other people that he treated like this were other autistics with medium support needs. I was also verbally abused at the graduation ceremony that year, but that's another thing. And I'm not sure how many of you watching have been asked out as a joke, but have you ever been asked to produce a song for someone as a joke? Well, that's something an idol did to me. They got in contact with me asking me to produce an original song for them, which proved a very difficult challenge considering they gave me nothing to work with. No reference tracks, no genres, no lyrics, no deadline, no nothing. Only for them to drop me as their producer, and I didn't find out until I posted on social media saying they had a song coming out. I think it's time you knew them by name. Starry Purin, or Purin, I don't. They kicked me when I was down, and what they did was the final straw before I tried to kill myself. Producing for others is a collaborative effort and requires contribution from both sides. You can't just expect someone to make something from nothing. And you definitely don't add insult to someone's injuries, in my case being suicidal because I felt like I wasn't good enough and then you just pull that shit. However, I still faced issues even after graduating from the IDOL community. I don't feel like I'm taken seriously by many just because I'm autistic. I attended one of the Connect sessions hosted by performing rights organization APRA AMCOS, which was a Q&A and network event. And when we got to the networking part, I was barely able to talk to anyone. They either didn't want to talk to me or talking was difficult as I struggled to make eye contact or conversate properly. And for the record, I struggle to mask, right? I struggle to pass as a neurotypical in everyday settings. It's almost impossible for me to do that. The double standards are insane. What is supposed to be a safe space for all doesn't like music artists who aren't neurotypical or don't pass as neurotypical. Being neurodiverse or just being disabled in general isn't fun and quirky. It comes with its challenges, its flaw, its flaw, most of which you don't like when these are on display. Nobody should have to pass as abled just so they can earn more respect in the music scene, or just any community in general, really. And I am so sick and tired of apologizing for things that are out of my control. It took me years to embrace that I was autistic, that I was cringe, that I didn't fit in, that I should make my curse my gift. And that progress is very close to going backwards. After leaving the idol community for being made feel like I wasn't good enough, this isn't really helping. The feeling never left me, so it's really disheartening to see my concerns dismissed, my music not being appreciated or embraced, or just not being acknowledged as a music artist. I've accepted that I'll forever be outcast in every community, and that's not a good feeling. Honestly, if anyone asks who wants to be normal, well, sometimes I wish I was. Most of the time I'm proudly autistic, but other days I'm just autistic. There are days where I beg for normalcy, I beg to not have a special interest in doom, I beg to be a carbon copy music artist, I beg to be able to make eye contact and have a regular conversation, I beg to be able to pick up more social cues, but unfortunately I'm going to be autistic for the rest of my life and there's nothing I can do about it. While I am somewhat respected as a music artist now, I feel like I would be respected more if I were neurotypical. Still, I'm going to continue my advocacy and I'm going to work hard until everyone respects me. Because people may not respect me now, but I will prove whatever doubt they hold of me wrong, which I have done time and again. One day I could be holding an award in my hand, and one day you, the viewer, could be holding one too for your current or aspiring area of profession. Ableism hasn't stopped me before, and it certainly won't stop me now from achieving my dreams. This video was just to talk about my personal experiences, mainly with discrimination. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. Please consider checking out my other socials down below, and until next time, goodbye!